Hello there and welcome to the channel. Today I would like to discuss the 2025 Toyota Corolla that was just announced in these last couple of weeks and just kind of go over my thoughts and opinions on this new car and some ideas that I hope to see with this car as Toyota releases it. But before we get into that, if you like the content and you would like to continue seeing it, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell and leaving a comment. I would greatly appreciate all of those things, and it will help this channel to reach more people. So without further ado, let's get into it. So recently Toyota released a essentially a press release on their next generation Toyota Camry. And this will be picking up in 2025, and it comes with revised visuals, which I will include up here, pictures of the car as I go through it, as well as revised architecture underneath, such as it will be hybrid only this time around. It will be offered, I believe, in all-wheel drive only, because the way Toyota does their hybrid system, rather than the electric motor being in tandem with the gas motor, it's actually two separate things. So the gas motor, or engine, I should say, is driving the front wheels, and the electric motor will drive the back wheels. At least that's how I've seen them do it on their other hybrid vehicles, is that's how they have it set up, and that's how you get the all-wheel drive. And then that's how, if you're using electric only power, you're in rear wheel drive. If you're on gas only power, you're in front wheel drive. And then if you're using both, it's all-wheel drive. It's rated for about 232 horsepower, I believe I saw on their website. And mind you, a lot of this info is pretty limited right now because they only just announced it, and so there's not a whole lot of info. We can expect the usual trim models, which are going off of the present of what they have. The general trims they have are LE, SE, XSE, and XLE. The current generation also has the TRD trim level, which is basically just the cheapest trim model that you can get the V6 in. That's the whole purpose of the TRD model for the Camry. I think with the Avalon, the TRD model is like the highest trim, or maybe not the highest trim, but like the highest sporty trim that you can get. But in the case of the Camry, it's kind of the middle level. It's the TRD is for if you don't want to spend XSE pricing, but you still want the V6, you can go with the TRD. It does have its own little set of goodies. It has like a little spoiler and its own exhaust and all that sort of stuff. But that's the current layout of trim levels that we have for the Camry. And in case you didn't know, what those mean is, so SE is Sport Executive, LE is Luxury Executive, and then X stands for Extreme, so that's Extreme Sport Executive and Extreme Luxury Executive. And they each come with their own, twist on what you're going to get. So LE is a little bit more of kind of just comfort and just like point A to point B type car. SE is when you start, I believe, actually, if I remember correctly, the last I've looked at these trims, the SE is when you first start to get your leather seats and sportier looks, like your little spoiler and all that. That's the SE. And then XSE and XLE, kind of similar, kind of not. They both have leather seats. They both have, I believe, like heated seats and stuff like that. But for the most part, there are differences between the two. It just comes down to what do you want between the two. And again, like I said, TRD is right there in the middle. It doesn't quite have all the features of the XSE or XLE, but it has the V6. So at the very least, we can assume that 2025, it is going to have SE, LE, XSE, and XLE as prior generations have had for a long time. Will they continue the TRD? That remains to be seen. In some of their pictures, they do show like red leather seats, which as of late have been their like TRD coloring for their seats. If you look at the seats for the Toyota Tundra TRD, those are red leather. A lot of their Lexuses will use red leather as an option. So it's kind of that more sporty color option for their interior. So who knows? Maybe they'll do a TRD, maybe they won't. In all honesty, given that this Camry is going to be set up for all-wheel drive, pretty much across every single one they're going to make, what I think would be really cool to see is, in all honesty, a GR Camry. And I don't exactly say that lightly, but when you think about it, it would actually be a really good candidate for the sporty sedan segment, given, to my knowledge at least, in this price range of car, the Elantra N is really the only sporty sedan out there with some souped up motor and dynamics for people to buy. Granted, I know there's, you can get, if you want a sporty sedan, you have your BMWs and your Mercedes and your Audis and all that. But those are 60, 70, $80,000 cars. The Elantra N is like 30,000, and you still get a pretty good sporty sedan for that price. You get, turbocharged 4-cylinder with 275 horsepower, sticky wheels, manual transmission, the whole shebang. So again, now we obviously, time will tell what Toyota's going to do. This is something where, I know a lot of people think like, oh, well, if enough people, ask Toyota to do a GR Camry, they'll do it. No, it takes them a while to develop these kinds of things. If they are going to do it, it is already in the works. I can tell you that much right now. If they are going to do it, they have already reached out to companies for help, like K&N. I used to work for them, and I worked on stuff related to the GR Corolla. I'm not going to go into detail on what I did or anything about that, but we knew about the GR Corolla 6 to 8 months before they announced it. So if they're going to do a GR Camry, people like K&N already know about it, and it's already on the way. It's just for us to wait and see. So this is just pure speculation and more of a, I hope that's what they're going to do, because this next Camry, like I said, it's going to be all-wheel drive pretty much across every single one. So the architecture of the chassis and everything is going to be set up for that. So it would be really cool to see them slap the GR Corolla engine, or GR Yaris/GR Corolla engine, the 3-cylinder, into it with the GR4 all-wheel drive, with the manual transmission, with sticky tires and some sporty styling throughout, and put that out there as a Elantra N competitor. That would be really cool if they did that, if that's something they are choosing to do. I don't know if that's what they're going to do. I don't think there's any way to know for sure or see any indication of, oh, this is what they're going to do. If you see anything out there speculating on it or talking about, oh, they're probably going to do it, at this point, it is pure speculation. It is what if, and it, likely AI generated images, stuff like that. There's not going to be anything known about it unless/until Toyota announces if they're going to do that. They may not. They haven't really had a history of doing sporty Camry trims to that extent. It would honestly be, more likely that they would do the Corolla, given they have the AE86 in the past for the Corolla. But then again, we have the Corolla hatchback and the GR Corolla, so that's kind of already being done, just not in the sedan form. But that's just kind of my 2 cents on for the 2025 Camry, especially too because if you look online, what I found online was supposedly the Camry is the sportier sedan that they have, even though the Corolla is the one with the AE86 history. So just kind of food for thought. Again, I do think this is really cool. Like going forward, I do think it is a decently nice looking Camry. Again, I'll put pictures up. I think it's kind of, they're pushing a little more towards the when I say risky, I just mean going a little bit bolder than usual, because for a long time Toyota has been play it safe, do just bland looking cars, and they don't necessarily look bad. They just don't necessarily look good. They're just bland. Nobody really cares about them. They don't really look nice. Um, until, with this last generation of Camry, those looked really nice. There was a time where I wanted one of those, but this next generation of Camry also does still look pretty decently nice. And I do hope that they do something sporty with it. If they don't, they don't. But it's also nice, given we live in a world where a lot of companies are turning a lot of their cars that were formerly gas into all electric. It's nice to see, there's still going to be some internal combustion going forward. Just I'm not going to get into politics on any of this. That's not my desire with this channel. I am not going to get into the politics of these things and what I think on it. It's just this. And when it comes to the Camry, it's nice to see it's still going to be that way, and they're kind of doing a slower transition, which is nice. And because Toyota's done hybrid technology for quite a long time with the Prius, so when it comes to hybrid technology from Toyota, you can know they know what they're doing. It's going to be pretty decently well built, per Toyota standards, how they have always done things. So it should, even for the average person, is going to be a really nice car. You're going to get better gas mileage while still having some decent power. I mean, 232 horsepower as your base level horsepower, not like your souped up V6, that's really good. I mean, back in 2016, the 4-cylinder Camrys were only making like 180 horsepower, 172 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, that's not, it's okay. It's not great. For me, I grew up in a Scion XB, and it was actually my first car. That was like 103 horsepower and 101 foot-pounds of torque. And going from that to a 2016 Scion TC, which had the 2AR FE 2.5-liter 4-cylinder from Toyota, which was the typical Camry motor at the time, that felt like a bump. Going from 103 to 180 was pretty good. But it wears out very quickly. So I think, and also having the punch, the low down punch of the electric motor, it will hopefully feel a little more sporty, especially when you put it in sports mode. So that'll be fun. And then again, we just have to wait and see what they do. They may end up doing something where it has a bit more power in one of the trim levels that you can get, given currently you can get a V6 Camry that's like 270 horsepower. So who knows what they're going to do with it. I hope to see, more information and, some more options of what you can do with the Camry. And hopefully there will be some options for, a little more power, like they've been offering for a while with the Camry. And yeah, I think there's a lot to look forward to with this car. I'm certainly going to keep up to date on it. If there's any other major updates, I'll be sure to, maybe make another video down the line, or at least make a YouTube short to cover the update. But for now, that's all I have to say. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much. Bye.